Welcome to VN Echoes of History Chanel. Chapter 13 The Letter No One Wants to Receive. One late afternoon at the end of the year, the sky was heavy and gray as if rain was about to fall, and the cold winter wind whistled through the bamboo groves. Zan was crouched in the yard, stripping stalks of rice for her father, when from afar, a figure in uniform stepped through the gate. It was one of Nam's old comrades, his clothes worn and faded, a weathered canvas bag slung over his shoulder. He stood silently before Zan, eyes red, his trembling hand pulling out a crumpled envelope. "Zan, Nam has fallen?" His voice broke, each word forced out as if too heavy to bear. Zan's ears rang. Every sound around her seemed to vanish. Her vision blurred as she staggered backward, her hand instinctively reaching for the edge of the table, but her strength failed. The letter slipped from her grasp, opening as it hit the ground. Inside was the death notice and a handkerchief, worn and discolored, still carrying the familiar scent of his sweat. The comrade said more, about a fierce battle, about Nam's courage, but to Zan it was nothing more than the wind passing by her ears. That night, Zan sat by the oil lamp, the handkerchief resting in her small palm. She lifted it to her cheek, inhaling deeply as if trying to hold on to the last trace of his presence. The love letters, once carefully kept in the wooden box, now pierced her heart like 1,000 blades. Outside, the moon still rose, but for Zan, its light had forever lost half of its glow. Chapter 14 Tears in the Night. In the days following the devastating news, Zan's house seemed shrouded in fog. By day, she still helped her father and siblings with the chores, but the sparkle that once lit her eyes was gone. At night, when everyone had fallen asleep, Zan would lie still in the corner of her bed, face buried in Nam's old handkerchief, weeping until her tears dried up and her throat burned. The small room held only the faint sound of her sobs mingling with the chirping crickets outside the eaves. In the village, whispers never ceased behind her back. What a foolish girl. Why wait and suffer so? He's gone, she should just move on with her life. Only a fool clings to a promise that no longer matters. Each word cut into her like a blade. They did not know, or could not understand, that to Zan, Nam was not just a lover. He had been her strength, her anchor, the most beautiful dream of her life. That pain, Zan could hide only in the night, only in the silent glow of the moon outside. The moon still shone as brightly as on the nights when the two of them had sat together in the village courtyard. The only difference was, now Zan sat alone, clutching the handkerchief, her eyes searching for a figure that had forever faded into the distance. Chapter 15 Stepping onto the battlefield. In the days when grief hung heavily over her, when longing had pulsed into every vein of her heart, Zan chose not to lock herself away in the shadows. She asked her family's permission to join the youth volunteer force. Her eyes were red from tears, yet they shone with determination. "I want to give my strength to the country. And, who knows, maybe I will see Nam again." Her aging father looked at his daughter in silence, then sighed. He understood that deep inside, Zan still could not accept the cruel news. As the days of departure drew near, Zan tied her hair neatly and put on a freshly sewn green uniform. On her back was a backpack, and in her hand, Nam's worn handkerchief, the keepsake she now regarded as a talisman. On the truck carrying her unit of youth volunteers, Zan watched as the rice fields of her homeland slowly faded into the distance. Her eyes brimmed with tears, but her heart pounded fiercely. She imagined that somewhere, far away, Nam was still alive, still fighting, and might one day appear before her in the brightness of a radiant sun. On her very first night with the unit, Zan wrote in her notebook, "Nam, I am here, in the place you once walked. I will find you, even if it is only in my dreams." Chapter 16 Days on the fiery front. The road building girls. The air raid siren shrieked through the night. Zan leapt up, threw on her jacket, and rushed out with her comrades. Their duty as youth volunteers was to fill bomb craters, clearing paths for convoys carrying supplies into the battlefield. Each step sank deep into the mud, sweat mixing with red dust, yet Zan pressed on without complaint. By day, the sun blazed mercilessly on the endless Trong sun trails. By night, flares tore across the sky, and enemy planes roared above. Still, Zan clung tightly to her pickaxe and shovel, her hands blistered, her skin burned. Inside her chest, however, a fire of waiting and hope never dimmed. Whenever she met passing soldiers, Zan would always ask, "Brother, do you know anything about a soldier named Nam?" The shakes of the head, the sympathetic eyes, made her heart tighten each time. One night, after her shift, Zan lay in her hammock, notebook open. By the dim glow of a kerosene lamp, her shaky handwriting read, "Nam, today I asked about you again. No one knows, but I believe you're still somewhere on this road." Amidst bombs and gunfire, her longing for Nam became the strength that pushed her forward. She didn't know then that these grueling days would steer her life toward an unexpected turn. When the bombing eased and the dust had yet to settle, Zan and her team shouldered shovels and rushed back onto the road. That night, the jungle was pitch dark, lit only by enemy flares that flickered over their thin but resilient bodies. Beside Zan was Tu, a central girl with sun-browned skin and a fiery, boyish spirit. Then Lan, small and nimble, her smile always bright, and Wei, the soft-spoken girl from Hanoi, her deep eyes full of dreams. The four treated one another as sisters, sharing every sip of water, every morsel of dried cassava, whispering stories of family, of home, of love. On stormy nights, when rain poured down like rivers, they curled together in the makeshift hut, listening as Zan quietly told the story of her love with Nam. Wei gently wrapped her arms around her. "Sister Zan, he will come back. I believe it." Tu clapped her shoulder. "As long as there's war, there will be loss. But that also means there's still hope." By day, the sun scorched their skin. Sweat mingled with dust, and their clothes were soaked in salt. By night, the cold cut through their bones, mosquitoes buzzing like storms. And yet, each time orders came, all four sprang up, shovels in hand, charging into the bomb craters to clear the way for the supply trucks bound for the front. Sometimes, in the middle of road work, enemy planes would suddenly swoop down. The terrifying roar, the earth exploding, trees crashing. The girls would dive into bomb shelters, hearts pounding. As soon as the raid ended, Zan cried out, "Quick! We have to clear the road before dawn." And again, they hurled themselves into their work, even as bomb fragments still smoldered underfoot. Life in the jungle was filled with hardship. Rice was scarce, so forest vegetables, dried bamboo shoots, and stream fish became staples. Their hair was sun-bleached, their skin darkened, yet their eyes shone bright with resolve. They believed that one day, with victory, every hardship would be exchanged for peace at home. By the flickering fire of the camp stove, Zan sat with her three friends, mending a torn shirt while telling stories. Their laughter rang through the small hut in the forest, drowning out the hum of insects and the distant echo of bombs.